Hey, it's Natalie Friedman.
And Jazzy Washington. So we're going to be reviewing Amber Rose's book, How to Be a Bad Bitch.
We're going to be reviewing it, and then we're going to be telling you guys how we met Amber 2 days ago. And if you stay tuned towards the end, we're actually going to be giving away one of the copies of her book, How to Be a Bad Bitch.
It's a good read.
So stay tuned till the end, and we're going to ship the book to one lucky subscriber. So what'd you think of Amber on Monday? She was super nice.
Let me tell you, Amber is a bad bitch. She's really fly. She came out with her little entourage, with her assistant, and she was wearing just really cute clothing. She had on this like bubble jacket. Do you remember that?
It was a really big bubble jacket. I loved it.
And she kept her shades on.
She kept the shades on.
Really boss. Like she's just a boss. So she's a cool girl, I could tell. And I just recently started following her on Instagram. She's always posting some hilarious stuff. And she definitely talks about how to be a bad bitch to the fullest in her latest book. I think it might be her first book even.
I think it's her first book. It's her book debut, and I think she's really a powerful woman. She's very inspirational. She stands by exactly what she believes, and she doesn't let anyone tell her otherwise. So I thought she was super nice, and she was friendly to us, and loved her outfit.
Natalie even got a selfie with her.
She was rocking the all black everything look. Wear the sunglasses, and
we might have to show your
she
selfie
is so
with her.
Yeah, we will.
That
We'll have
cute.
to show it.
Yeah.
she's gorgeous in person. She's like glowing.
Flawless
she has
skin.
great cheekbones, and I think I can see us chilling with her in the future for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For
so,
sure.
What I really loved about this book is it's very the title might be a little bit like, okay, bad bitches, right? Like that's kind of, it gives it a bad rep sometimes. But the content is in, what's inside the book is actually true. It's a lot of truthful things that a lot of females, I feel like, could follow to be empowering women. And it's not necessarily about being a bitch. It has nothing to do with being a bitch. It's about owning who you are and staying true to yourself. So one of the things that she talked about, which I am a firm believer on, is dealing with men, for example, dealing with guys. Sometimes there's guidelines us as females should follow to get the respect that we want. And there's many chapters on, dealing with men and dealing with going about even sex. Like what's the soonest that you should have sex with them? And Amber actually feels if you're connecting with a guy, just go all in, go for it. And I think that, what do you think about that? Do you say that's represents being a bad bitch, or would you say that that's more so being a slutty female? I mean, it can go either way. What do you think?
Good point. I think that Amber, what she makes a big point in her book is, there's no such thing as rules and guidelines. If you know in your instinct and your heart that you feel like hooking up with this guy and you want to have some fun, she says do it. There's nothing that says you have to be dating 3 months, you have to be dating 6 months. Sure, if you're looking for a serious relationship, do wait, get to know the guy. If you're looking for fun, I love how she loves to have fun, and she's trying to say, all the time, guys are praised for how many people they sleep with, and it's such a rewarding thing, but she's saying it's rewarding for us too. We love to have fun. I love how she stresses condoms. She stresses that.
Oh yes.
She's like, nobody's worth.
There's literally a chapter called Bad Bitches Wear Condoms.
Yeah, and just like you said, it's nothing about being a bitch. It's actually being a boss, being your own boss, being an entrepreneur in everything you do, being kind to others. So we're going to go over some of our favorite points of the book. And I think that it made me realize that you and I are both bad bitches.
Exactly.
Like, bad bitch central. And like, my mom's a bad bitch. I would never say that to her because she'd be like, Natalie, what does it mean? But, I just realized that we are surrounded by a lot of positive, empowering women. And she uses the term bad bitch because it was a popular term for the year. So anybody that, hears it from the outside might say, another way is baddie. Baddie is another way, a girl that loves to dress good, talk good, and do good.
Right.
Do good.
Some people don't like the term bitch, right? And so there's always a negative connotation to being a bitch in general. But it's a different thing. Just being a bad bitch has nothing to do with being a bitch.
Right.
And actually, it's the complete opposite of the book, The Rules, that I read recently, which talks about, it's very old-fashioned, and basically stating that you should play games with men and just like basically use manipulative ways to
like hard to get.
Hard to get.
Oh, sorry to clarify. You're talking about the book
you.
called The Rules, right?
It's
just to
called The
clarify.
Rules.
Okay, cool,
Right,
cool.
exactly.
It
Thank
sounds
you.
like a lot of hard to get and just guessing games and don't respond to his text for 5 hours. I
Right,
read a book like that too, and I was just so confused. I'm like, after reading all this bogus, I'm just gonna trust my gut. Like, why? If I really like a guy, I should not have to not respond and make him wonder if I'm at the club with another guy.
Exactly.
No. And actually, in one of Amber's chapters, she says that sometimes she'll tell the guy first that she has feelings for him, and she's like, compliment men. Men like to feel good too.
And it's so
not just a
funny.
double standard. Like,
Yeah, in this book,
Yeah.
all the rules, it says to do the opposite. Like, don't ever tell a man you love him first. Like, this book is actually way more for the modern woman than the other
Totally.
book that was made in the 70s, which
Totally.
obviously was made, it's an old book. So this, we could talk about some
Yeah,
of
let's
your
talk
favorite
about some of
chapters.
Phyllis.
What was your favorite?
I was just gonna say that us as women, we're so instinctual. We're just instinctual creatures. I'm not saying we're above men, but we just, we need to follow our gut. So if you think that you want to play a little hard to get, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, let the man hunt you down.
Exactly.
That feels good too, but Amber's definitely hitting on point. So one of my favorite quotes from the book we'll start with, and then we'll get into our favorite points. This is her definition of a bad bitch. A bad bitch is strong. She is powerful. She is fierce. She is intelligent. She is honest. She is loving. She lives with integrity, and she shares her beauty and light while changing the world. She is you. I love that.
Whoa,
I think if
that's
people
powerful.
read that, they'd say, okay, it has nothing to do with being a bitch.
Right.
It's about being a powerful woman and sharing knowledge. A lot of times people are in competition with each other, especially in New
Right,
York and LA, and don't tell them this. It's like, share your beauty tips with your friends.
Exactly.
Go shopping with, make a YouTube video, say some advice.
That
and
actually reminds me of this recent quote, and it was like, confident women don't compete, they collaborate.
Love it.
Boom, that's hey.
Boom, that's why we're
in a
here.
nutshell. It's not about being competitive or competing with the next person. It's actually about like empowering each other, coming up with creative ideas, and finding ways to advance together. That's what it's all about. So
Totally.
bad bitches link up.
Totally. And when you know yourself and you're confident, it's like, we're better in numbers. So
Also taking like a big, bold risk with yourself. Like, she talked about shaving her head off, which for me, I actually did this myself. I don't think most people know this, but I have a similar story that Amber shared, which is basically she shaved off her head, and her friends told
Her
her hair.
she still has a head. She has a smart brain in
She
there.
shaved off her hair. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I did something similar about a year ago. I literally shaved off my hair. I went to a barber. Actually, she said she went to a barber instead of a salon. I went to a barber right across the street from my apartment, and I shaved off my hair to just regrow it from scratch. And
That's a fresh start.
Right. So sometimes it's about, doing what you just want to do, regardless of people telling you it's not going to look right, or, it's not going to fit
I love
your
that.
face. Because that's her trademark, and she rocks it really well.
Totally. So one of my favorite bullets of the book is vision. She has a whole chapter about visualizing what you want. And I think it's so important in New York. We're all chasing our dreams, other cities too. Always have a vivid picture of where you want to go.
Right.
And even write down your goals.
Yes.
Tell your goals to people, and don't let anybody tell you no.
Exactly.
And she didn't let anybody tell her no. All her friends and family said, don't shave your hair off. Like, no, she shaved her hair, and then boom, 2 months later, she was in a music video with young Jazzy, and then her life changed, and Kanye
literally.
noticed her, and
Her life
she's an entrepreneur from that moment that she decided to do that.
She was a kid. She would visualize, and another thing, visualization is very powerful. There's
Very
so
powerful.
many books about this, and visualization techniques are out there. I personally do them as well. A lot of my life now that's happening is basically because I visualized them years ago, it happening, living in New York City, doing what I'm doing now. Stuff like that, it comes from a thought. It stems from a thought. It stems from just visualizing. And so she talked about that. It's important to see yourself in that place where you want to be, and to really feel it and to believe that it's going to happen, because what ends up happening is your life just flows in the way that your mind,
It flows.
That's the way
Your
it
thoughts
works.
are energy, and that's such an
Exactly.
important thing. It's not just your actions. You think with good intention, you'll do good. And she talks about when she was 9 years old, she just knew in her heart, I'm not going to be in Philly. I'm just not gonna be here. She just thought LA, and then she couldn't afford it, so she just moved to New York. She's still, even though she's physically in New York, her mind is still in LA. She's like, I'm gonna be in LA. She didn't give up, and it reminded me, you know, I'm from Minnesota, and people would tell me New York is so hard, it's so expensive, it's so competitive. I didn't listen. You know, obviously you want to appreciate your friends and family advice, but you just have to do what you believe, and now I'm here and I'm doing everything I said I would do, and then you set new goals. So I loved her chapter about vision. She talks about the law of attraction in here. Jazzy and I both love the law of attraction. The Secret is another good book that we would say stems from this. I'd honestly say Amber Rose basically put into terms The Secret and the law of attraction.
Yeah, it's one of those things, whether you even realize that it's happening or not, like, it's a law of the universe. So the more you're aware of it, the more you can actually use it in your life and understand it in your life. So the fact that she gets it, it makes me feel like, okay, this book again might have some negative rep about the name and stuff.
Stigma,
yeah, but the inside of it, it's a real, like, it makes sense. So
totally.
I would actually recommend this book.
Highly recommend it. It's definitely a book for women, but I think, you know, I know some guy friends in my life who could read this. So another bullet point of the book that I love, and this is a fun and girly part, is she talks about fashion and beauty and always looking good. Now again, on the outside you think, oh, superficial, like you shouldn't care what you look like, but Amber talks about when you have your outfit on point and you have your hair and makeup on point, you feel more confident. It's actually not about the outside. It makes you feel good on the inside. It makes you act beautiful. It makes you talk beautiful. It can open more doors. And everybody is beautiful, all shapes and sizes, she talks about in here. And you just have to own it. So know your style, know what clothes fits your body shape, know how to do your makeup. Don't, you know, leave the house with your contour looking like a clown. And she's like, when you look good, like you kind of just, you work better, you talk better, and I really like how she touches on.
It's almost like being a goddess. Like you feel like a goddess the more you treat yourself like one. So taking care of yourself, your hygiene, you know, treating yourself well. Sometimes you might feel like you need a back massage, go get a massage, things like that.
Totally treat yourself.
Love yourself. So it's important to be that kind of a female, you know, that
when you treat yourself like a queen, others will.
Yes, exactly.
I really caught on to that in the past 2 years. I'm like, you know, let's say I'm having a stressful day, I'll book a massage, I'll get my nails done, and whatever uplifts you, you know, do it. And also, Amber talked about, you know, job opportunities and how sometimes women complain that the job market is so competitive. Amber's like, no, become your own CEO and, you know, talk eloquently. She also talks about on your dark days, how to still be a bad bitch. You know, bad bitches don't talk negatively, they don't gossip. They go to the gym, they figure out a solution to a problem. So she's saying that we're not perfect, nobody is. We don't have to be perfect, but keep being a bad bitch at all times, AKA keep being a goddess, keep positive, and always keep that vision. That's why one of our favorite chapters was the vision, because no matter what, if you have the vision, even on a really dark day, nothing can stop you, because you know the next day is going to be a better one.
You know it's real when you are who you think you are. Boom.
There's nothing better than being authentic. When you love yourself and you be yourself. There's nobody else with your DNA. It's so fascinating. Like, you're a walking miracle, and she just reinforces that in the book. So, Amber, we loved How to Be a Bad Bitch. The pictures are very sexy in here. She has some awesome, she has a lot of great pictures when she was younger that are really fascinating. And so if you like and subscribe and comment, we're gonna add you to a drawing to get a free copy, and I'm gonna ship this to you, and guess what? She signed the book. So it's a signed copy. Like, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna pick a winner in a week and ship this out. So we'll email you if you win, and we'll ship it to your address, no charge.
And make sure you leave comments on what you feel about the review and what else you'd like to see.
Thanks, guys.